Hi everyone, welcome to this video on burnouts at work. First of all, let's define burnout at work. It's a state of chronic stress characterized by physical, emotional and mental exhaustion. In this video, we'll have a look at some of the causes of burnout at work as well as some of the possible solutions. There are solutions that an individual can do, but also solutions that organizations can do. Let's kick off by understanding what causes burnout. Unsurprisingly, excessive work demands are at the top of the list. While this can involve heavy workloads, it can also involve tight deadlines. So long term the picture might look reasonable, but if the work is not spread out, then you have periods of time where people have very little to do and periods of time when they're overwhelmed, and that's not a good way to work. This is especially important in Agile, as self-managing teams often rely on members who are part of multiple teams. And the organisation needs to consider how work is provided to these individuals, as it won't necessarily be a single team lead asking them to complete tasks at a reasonable pace. The other factor is when individuals feel they have a lack of autonomy. What does autonomy look like in the workplace? The authority to make decisions. Countless research papers demonstrate that autonomy is a key indicator of a person's happiness in life, at home and at work. Lacking autonomy is going to make an individual feel disempowered and demotivated. Why would an individual feel a lack of autonomy? It could be a number of different reasons. It could be that the work is not set up correctly. It could be very restrictive. They might have a manager who's very keen to micromanage. Perhaps they lack sufficient training in their role. Essentially, they don't feel empowered. Another key part is ensuring individuals maintain a balance between work life and personal life. This ties into the lack of resources, and by resources this could be time, e.g. tight deadlines. But it could also be resources in terms of, say, support or lack of tools. If there are tight deadlines or heavy workloads leading to long working hours, then that's really going to cut into an individual's personal life. We know that occasionally you have to spend a little bit more time at work. However, this occurs frequently and the amount of time that person has for relaxation is continually being cut down, then the chances of burnout all of a sudden increase rapidly. That relaxation, that being able to recharge, is really important in terms of avoiding burnout. Of course, you can't ask people to maintain a good work-life balance and then overload them with work, and that's where strong leadership is needed. And leadership is a strong factor, is a large factor in burnout. And ineffective leadership shows in so many ways. We're talking about inadequate communication, lack of support from supervisors, ignoring feedback. In an organization, if there's a poor flow of information, or that information is not communicated in the right or timely manner, you're really risking the burnout of your employees. Other more obvious things that cause burnout are toxic workplaces. And what do I mean by toxic workplaces? We're talking about bullying, harassment, discrimination, lack of trust. All these things create an atmosphere where it's difficult to work, which in turn increases the chances of burnout. If a person feels unsure about their job, their future prospects as a result of, say, organizational changes, this can also fuel anxiety, stress, and essentially it can lead to burnout. Providing certainty as much as you can in these situations is helpful. So those are the potential causes of burnout. Again, the definition of burnout is a state of chronic stress characterized by physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion. Let's have a look now, firstly, at what an individual can do before we move on to looking at what organizations can do. What individuals should try to do is prioritize self-care activities like exercise, meditation, hobbies, or just spending time with loved ones. Self-enforce a limit on work hours, unplugging outside of work, focusing on that self-care. Ideally, individuals should work or manage their own workloads in terms of prioritizing tasks and delegating responsibilities where possible. And just setting realistic expectations. However, if this is at odds with the environment in which they work, it's going to be difficult to enforce. This is why leaders need to be driving this. Individuals should also try to get involved in skill development and training, enhancing capabilities, and as a result, feeling more secure in their role. Moving on to what an organization can do. Ideally, an organization would create a culture that values work-life balance. And there are a number of things that encourage this. Firstly, modeling by leaders, offering flexible working hours, ensuring job descriptions are clear. Job expectations should also be clear. There should be sufficient training and development provided. A lot of organizations have well-being leads, people who make themselves available in case support is needed. Organizations should recognize and appreciate employee contributions. Appreciate what the employee has done and the good work that's been done. There should be opportunities to feedback, and the organization should be careful to ensure action is taken to address any issues raised in feedbacks. It's important, I think, especially if you want to maintain the trust of employees, to make sure that you're demonstrating that you're listening. That's not to say you action everything employees say, but you consider an action when possible. Communication is key. As well as this, ensuring opportunities for regular check-ins, discussing workload concerns, having a flexible approach to work, assisting those individuals in managing workloads. So those are some of the solutions that the organizations can also put in place, as well as the solutions that individuals can put in place. It's important to stand, though, as an individual, recognize the signs of burnout. Speaking to people who have experienced burnout, without exception, all state that the signs of burnout were there long before the burnout occurred. So it's important to be self-reflective and ensure your organization encourages this. I hope you find this interesting. For more videos like this, check out my channel.